To drag on, we have tried to brighten up your Monday with our special Midcap Mania with Nigel D'Souza. Nigel, what stock are you going to talk about today?
Well, Sonia, I'm going to be telling you all about this newspaper. It's a Gujarati newspaper. I think I'll start reading it. No, that's not really what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to tell you about the entire newspaper space. That's a Gujarati newspaper space. There are three top players there. There's Gujarat Samachar, there's Divya Bhaskar, and also there is Sandesh. And Sandesh is a listed company. It's very, very low volumes, but let me take you through some details with regard to the company. Now, in terms of their revenue, bulk of their revenue comes in from the print business. A very small segment comes in from the TV business. That's the TV advertising business. So it's at around 93 to around 94% comes in from the print business itself. If you take a look at the shareholding pattern, they are up there till the top. So close to around 75% of the stake is with the promoter. But just keep your eye out because the remainder 25% is with very few shareholders. Only around 4,800 shareholders have the remainder. So volumes are very, very, very low. Now, if you just take a look at the financials, first 9 months, well, nothing interesting or nothing exciting at all. Top line was as flat as can be. We had the margin stable at around that 32% or thereabouts. And the net profit number was at around 56 crores. But in the last quarter, given that we had demonetization, I wanted to see what kind of impact really was there on their media business, which is their core business. Now, the top line was as flat as can be, while the EBIT was up close to around 2%. For a quarter where you had demonetization playing out and a Gujarati newspaper gets bulk of their revenues coming in, advertising revenues from the real estate as well as jeweler space, that was quite encouraging. But what they've done in the last few years, top line growth of not even 10% on a CAGR basis, but the operating profit has improved. So it was at around 83 crores a couple of years back. In the last year, it was at around 126 crores. And the profit number as well has jumped up. If you take a look at the valuation matrix, last year they did a net profit of around 81 crores. And this year, as we speak, the market capitalization is roughly around 670 crores. So it's not even trading at around 10 times as we speak. The balance sheet, that's very, very strong. They have a cash of more than 250 crores, market capitalization of around 670 crores, telling you that, close to around 30-35% of their market cap could be equivalent to cash as well. And it's a zero debt company as well. That's something that caught my eye. But the utilization of cash hasn't been great. I had a word with the management. A few years back, they lent some money to a real estate company. That's a group real estate company. It's known as Applewoods. And now there they lent close to around 200 crores. After some time, they went ahead and they converted that into equity. So they have 15% stake in that company. I mean, for a shareholder, you wouldn't be happy at all. So utilization of cash hasn't been great. What are the triggers going ahead, though? Ramping up of the television business. That's point number one. Point number two is the Gujarat state elections will be due in the next 1 year or so. So that's going to be an important trigger. And finally, will Gujaratis continue reading the newspaper or is it going to be online? Nonetheless, a rather interesting company, Sandesh Limited. Back to you.
Well, the only Sandesh I knew of the paper, but the only Sandesh I liked up until now was the sweet that you get to eat in Bengal. But thanks so much for educating us.